Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been missing in action for a while now, and I'm really sorry about that. Things got a little crazy because of the pandemic, but today I'm going to talk about the sleep cycle. So I've tried to simplify it as much as possible because I was kind of finding it hard, and I imagined everybody would be finding it hard. So let's dive into it. So let us say that you're awake for about 16 hours in a day, okay? And you're asleep for about 8 hours in a day. So that's the ratio we're gonna go with here. So what happens when you're awake is you're concentrating, you're working, you're doing things, and that's when your brain waves kind of look like this, right? They are low amplitude, high frequency waves. And when you're about to transition into sleep, somewhere around here, like when you're in that lucid dream state, like right before you go to bed, you've closed your eyes, you've calmed down. So during the transition, you're going to be having what we call alpha waves, which is kind of a higher amplitude and lower frequency, and then it goes into the four stages of the sleep cycle, which we will discuss. So what I want you to know is that when you're awake, like in general, when you're awake, it's going to be low amplitude, high frequency, and when you go to sleep, it's going to be high amplitude, low frequency. We'll delve into the specific sleep waves and the phases shortly, but this is what, like, overall I want you to know. Now, delving into the phases of the sleep cycle. So first off, once you go to bed, you first go into the NREM sleep, and then sleep cycle actually this sleep cycle is called a cycle because you it goes in cycles, because there's going to be NREM sleep and then REM sleep and then back to NREM and REM again. So this is how it goes, right? And it's worth noting that as you um, go, like, go further into your sleep, your NREM declines and your REM sleep increases in duration. The duration goes kind of like this. Your NREM keeps decreasing in duration and your REM sleep keeps increasing in duration. So the first stage of the REM sleep is N1, which is called light sleep. I'm sorry about that. So NREM, the stage 1, and there's stage 2, and there's stage 3. So stage 1 is light sleep, and then there's stage 2, which is in between light sleep and deep sleep, and this last one is deep or slow wave sleep. So what happens in your stage 1 is you're going to have theta waves, and which is the beginning of your sleep cycle. And then in your stage 2, you're going to have sleep spindles and K complexes. And this is the phase in which patients can have bruxism, which is just a fancy word for when people, like, sort of bite their teeth and make these weird noises with their mouth. And then the slow wave sleep is what is called the delta phase, and this is the one that I was talking about, like really high amplitude and low frequency. So this is the slow wave sleep, during which sleep terror. Oh, sorry, sleep terrors. Sorry, yeah, sleep terrors and sleepwalking, sleep talking, and bedwetting happen here, right? And then the interesting thing, like after NREM, you get into REM sleep, right? So the interesting thing about REM sleep is that it has the same waves as the wake state, which is the low amplitude, high frequency wave, because REM sleep is when the dreams happen, right? So this is the dream state. Whether it's a nightmare or whether it's a good dream, dreams happen in the REM state, and also memory consolidation. There also is some degree of decrease in muscle tone in REM sleep, which sort of makes sense, because basically that's your body's way of ensuring that you don't act out your sleep. Don't act out. Sorry, don't act out your dream. Right. So this is your REM sleep, and also there's going to be like increased oxygen supply and utilization. By the brain, by your brain, right? So this is going to be your REM sleep. So literally how it goes is you transition from wake state, from wake to N1, N2, N3, and then it goes into REM sleep, and then again you go into N1, N2, N3, and it then goes into REM sleep. And REM sleep, like I said, it keeps getting longer as you sleep. So this happens for like 4 to 5 cycles, right? So each night's sleep consists of 4 to 5 cycles of it alternating between NREM sleep and REM sleep, and then NREM again, and then REM again. And there is one term called sleep latency. Sorry, not sleep latency. It's called, I'm so sorry about that. Let me get this out of the way. It's called REM latency. So that is the duration between sleep onset and the onset of the first cycle of REM sleep. So this is sort of they measure REM latency as a diagnostic measure, right? Because it's kind of decreased in a patient with narcolepsy, and it's decreased in depression, right? Yep. REM latency. I'm so sorry about that. I'm having a hang up right now, people. Just give me 1 sec. So this REM latency is very useful to diagnose certain conditions. So basically, this is the overview that I wanted to give you guys about the sleep cycle. There are again each phase of the sleep cycle has its own characteristics, which are very useful to think about. But this is just like the overview, because I think there are some people who still struggle with what's wake state and what's sleep state, and what do the waves look like. So you just want to think of it as this, there is going to be this high activity when you're awake, and then it transitions into slow waves, and then in between you're going to keep having spikes of wake like activity, which is your REM sleep, and then it goes back into slow wave sleep, and then you're up, right? So it's kind of interesting to think about how, because there are some researchers who believe that sleep and wake are not actually separate. And that, I think, is explained by the fact that there's going to be a little bit wake like activity during REM sleep. So I hope that this was helpful. Please leave me feedback in the comment section below. Let me know if I can improve it in any way, and let me know if you want me to make one video each on each of the sleep cycles, if that is going to be helpful for you. But I personally don't think that that's a very high yield. First you got to know this, and then once you're comfortable with this, we can be delving into that. Thank you so much for listening. Have a nice day, and I love you guys. Take care.